You can include technical applications. Basically, the idea is to test. We are testing and evaluating different use cases in different deployment sites, which main idea is to prolong the independent life of their current environment and improve their quality of life. An activate farmer happens to be customer of the proposal. This is considered affiliation, or it's.
I'm really sorry, but we don't hear you very well, and everyone should shut his microphone.
Project open the opportunity to startups, SMEs, and mid-caps to present their solutions, their mature IoT solutions, to this open call and test this solution, demonstrate, and to go to the market with these solutions. This open call is open to individual European criteria, to individual European institution, which meets all the eligibility criteria. Here we show the main eligibility criteria, which are registered as a member in the European Union or in an Horizon 2020 or associated countries. The proposal solution must provide mature IoT technology, and we will admit only one proposal per entity. Each proposal should cover one challenge, which are described in the guide for applicant, and basically these challenges are created according to our current deployment site needs. And if you read these challenges in detail, you will see that they describe the scope and which deployment site are interested on this. And you will have the opportunity to present IoT technology, solutions, services, and so on, answering each challenge. Here we can show you some of them. Some of them are focused on monitoring self-management chronic disease, IoT-enabled heart rhythm, daily activity monitoring, cognitive stimulation. Other solutions that we are looking for are more focused about how to increase or to avoid current barriers of user identification, energy consumption monitoring, and we have a total of 11 challenges, defined challenges, and a last one, which is an open challenge, where you in this case, we are open to groundbreaking solution that currently doesn't respond previous open challenge. And the idea is that you have to explain what is the need that you would like to cover, and how your solution impact on this need. Okay. Just like a summary, I would like to remark that the open call was launched at the end of July, and it will be finished, or the deadline will be 31st of October. The maximum the maximum number of funded projects will be 10. And this project will have an experiment period of 12 months and will receive a maximum budget of 60,000 euros. And basically, this is the summary that I wanted to share with all of you. But should you have any question related to the applicant process, evaluation process, or so on, I have some slides should you need. And additionally, we included we upload the last webinar in our website, where you can see all this information that were shared in the previous webinar. So now I would like to introduce Paula Ailio and Jane Nitimaki, who will present the deployment site from Finland. Paula.
Yes, hello, hi. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Paula from Finland, and our partner representative Janne Niittymäki is here also, and possibly also Rauno Sarnio is present. But I will shortly run through the Finnish deployment site presentation. We are in total 4 partners from Finland at the moment. I'm from Turku University of Applied Sciences, and we have also Good Life Technologies, Senior Sum, and eHoiva, and we form the Finnish pilot consortium at the moment.
And good afternoon on my behalf too. This is Janne from Good Life Technology. And go on, Paula. Thank you.
Thank you. And basically, the deployment side of Finland scope is twofold. We are serving 3 different use cases of those that Alicia presented. They consist of daily activity monitoring, integrated care, and exercise promotion. And to support the elderly to live at home longer, we offer new communication and monitoring options to both relatives and formal caregivers. And this scope covers 2 use cases: daily activity monitoring and integrated care. And this service is covered by the Senior Sum tablet and application technology, which is integrated with eHoiva, formal caregiver HR management software. And the third use case is exercise promotion. And this use case, the idea is to increase the amount of exercise possibilities, and generally to increase the exercise and increase physical strength and well-being by offering new, easy-to-use and digital exercise services. And these are offered by integrating Good Life Technologies physiotherapy guidance with Turku University of Applied Sciences Exer Games. And they can function with both direct stream, it is tailor-made exercise programs, and also possibility to use motion detection camera. And the solution that is deployed is easy to use distant communication solution to monitor and treat users living alone at home. And also on the exercise use case, the digital exercise options for elderly to increase well-being, their balance, and other physical strength. And we are targeting around 400 homes, and the scope is to pilot with 600 individual users. And here is a picture of our architecture. We have different devices here. We have a bracelet option from Senior SOM, and also we have the motion detection camera there illustrated. Our gateway is mainly through Android tablets and Android screens. And there's also one like a mini PC, which is from the Good Life physiotherapy service. About the data collected, regarding the use cases, daily activity monitoring and integrated care with the Senior SOM equipment, the data collected includes number of calls, number of messages sent between the elderly or relatives or elderly and formal caregiver, number of reminders scheduled for the elderly, and for the exercise promotion use case, the data we collect are, for example, number of exergames played, the length of the physical exercise sessions, and also the Good Life service is done in a way that the correctness of the movement is also captured, so that we can make sure that the motion detection camera can monitor that the movement is made correct. In addition, we are giving some qualitative questionnaires to the test people.
Thank you very much, Paula. If you don't mind, we prefer to present all the deployment site and at the end to collect all the questions related to each deployment site. Okay. So thank you very much, Paula. And then we give the floor to Ángeles Mata, who is the deployment site leader from Madrid. Ángeles?
Sorry? Yes. Do you hear me? Yes.
Porque lo que yo he entendido de tu caso de uso es que el médico pudiera...
You can speak, Ángeles.
Okay. Well, I am the DS leader, and Gloria is also here in case there are questions concerning the architecture. Well, and the scope of our deployment site is to create an AHA IoT ecosystem, and in the region of Madrid, and the main characteristics of our deployment sites are that it's an enlarged, inclusive, and diverse ecosystem. Why do we say enlarged? Because it covers nearly all the region of Madrid, north, south, east, and west. Inclusive because we have stakeholders participating that belong to, for example, to the north of Madrid municipalities, which are very rich, but also we have all participating people in the center of Madrid in badly need of help that are attended by NGOs, and diverse also because we have participating municipalities, we have private associations, we have private companies, NGOs, and so on. The solutions that we deploy, well, we are 3 partners, which are Tecnalia, University UPM, University Politécnica de Madrid, which is UPM, and Tercera Edad Activa, which we are service providers. The IoT solutions that we deploy, we do them within users' home and across the city to support all the stakeholders participating, that are caregivers, family members, professionals, companies, and daycare centers. And we can group them in 4 scenarios: move around the city, enjoying activities that it offers you, balance some physical activity, exercise your mind, and keep in touch. We will deploy 500 facilities and within 1,000 users. The architecture that we are deploying are several devices, like for example, wristband Fitbit, door sensors, equimetrics, presence and contact sensors. And the gateways are smartphone, Android smartphone, tablets, and from also Android, and domestic IoT technology. Then we have all this data goes to DS Madrid Cloud Platform, and then we have the application interacting with the users. The data collection that we make is we have public transport open data, we have physical activity, steps, distance, sleep quality. We have collect data also from mindfulness sessions, from brain training games parameters, from brain training games and cognitive categories. We have also geolocation and application user and backtrackers.
Thank you very much, Angeles, for the presentation. Next, we will move to deployment side from France, Isabelle.
Hello? Yes, hello? You hear me? Isabelle Chartier. So I'm the DS leader for the French DS of ActiveAge. Briefly, we are based in a mountain area in Grenoble near the Alps. We are 10 partners. We really involve all the stakeholders. So we have some technical partners like Technosense offering social interaction to people. And we also have Corian, which is a nursing home group, to make it simple, and the Department of Isère. The scope of French DS is to propose an evolutive solution that will follow people along the aging stages. So the well-known aging stages. So we start with the first population of active seniors, young retired people, then living at home, of course. Then we have people which are already in frailty, which are still living at home, but with some human assistance. And then the third population is in an hospital after an accident during the rehabilitation. We are supporting them during the rehabilitation at the clinic to go back home. So these are our three populations. And our goal is really to create a continuum of care to follow these three stages and to combine human and technical assistance. The idea is, of course, to limit the loss of autonomy and to help people to stay longer in their home, but also to avoid unnecessary hospitalization. The solution we are deploying is a modular, so it's a IoT, it's a smart home globally. We don't have, wearable. We have a modular personalized solution. So we want to personalize the solution to each person, situation. And globally, we have the service or three types of service: detection of early sign of fragility, safety, comfort, and energy saving. So it's more domotics, and social interaction. We will have 250 users, globally 70 individual homes, and 10 rooms in an hospital, a rehabilitation hospital. You can change. So the architecture, here I show one architecture in the hospital, so at Corian Hospital. Globally, every data, here you see on the left side, it's inside the hospital in Grenoble. All the devices are in the room. We have one box, Wi-Fi connection. All the data are kept inside Corian. So we can work only with technical device with open SDK. We cannot use external clouds. Okay. Then we have the cloud, the router, the server of the cloud of Corian. Then we have only some data, the KPIs which are going to see server. And here we have the interface which are created by TechnoSense, but again, it's no data are going to TechnoSense. Then we have kind of similar architecture for the home. What data are we collecting? We are trying to minimize the number of sensors. So we are following door opening for the safety, energy, water, and gas monitoring to optimize the energy consumption, so mainly electricity. We have some life paths, bed occupancy. We are mainly following the autonomy progress. We have some alarms and alerts, mainly on the home, and white and activity monitoring. What we are looking for the open call is mainly to complete all the energy consumption monitoring, but also gas and water monitoring. It's really for the, I would say, oh, sorry. We're also looking for physical activity monitoring. And another one is really important for us is authentication of the elderly and the caregivers. And another need is about multi-occupancy solutions. It's very complex for us when we have two people in one flat to follow one of them. So we would like to follow who is in a room, how many people are in a room. Also, if people are standing on the sofa, we have bed occupancy sensor, but we don't find any seat or chair or sofa occupancy sensor. So multi-occupancy solutions. So I hope it's enough for you there.
Okay. Isabel, thank you very much. Basically, as Isabel told us, they were described the challenges that you can find in the guide for applicants, and also for the rest of the deployment side, you can see also in which challenges they are interested in. Okay. So thank you very much, Isabel. We will move to the next one, Rohit, who will present the deployment side from Leeds. Hi, Rohit.
Hello, good afternoon all from UK. So I am the DS leader for UK site, and our deployment site is in Leeds. So if you go to the next slide. So along with the activation, sorry, back a bit. Along with the ActiveAge goal and scope, we have our own goal to create a single platform for formal and informal carers as well as healthcare professionals in the UK. We are 4 partners enabling 3 major use cases in UK. One of them is remote monitoring, the second one is emergency triggers, and the third one is reduction in social isolations. So in this trial, we will be deploying in 350 homes, and we'll be trialing with around 1,000 users. You can see the difference here from the other partners that we have less number of homes and more number of users. This is mostly to do with the UK demographics, where we have more informal carers, and along with, so every elders usually have 1 or 2 carers associated with them, and that's how these numbers are coming up. So what we have deployed so far is we have deployed a continuous monitoring system inside the houses for these elder people. I will touch on the next slide, where we monitor different aspects of their daily lives. And we have systems which identify relevant risks and situations that might convert into a risk. And the system also is capable of informing formal, informal carers as well as the healthcare professionals in an incremental way. So if we go on to the next slide. So as an architecture, what we have deployed is we have used the regular home automation kits that are usually available for people to automate switching on and off of lights, kits like that, door sensors, motion sensors, as well as energy sensors inside the house, which traverse through the home gateway into our cloud. Along with that, we have the Samsung Gear watches, which are like a fitness watch or a smart watch, and the mobile phone, which acts as a gateway for collection of data. Once the data is through from these different IoT devices, They are collected onto our central server situated in UK, and there is where we do all the analytics and provide users with different outputs for different use cases. Again, we have a wide range of delivery methods for these interventions or these alerts that you call. We can deliver via the mobile phones. We have our own websites hosted for this project, as well as users can be notified through Gear watches. In terms of data collection, like I said in the beginning, we are collecting the whole house electricity data, which is like 10-second sampling rate. We have the regular step counts and the heart rates coming through our watches. We have door sensors, motion sensors. We have heavy appliance usages like kettles and fridge and vacuum cleaners and others, to include a few. We also have analytics which says how much TV is used and so on. Plus, we also monitor the battery levels and the amount of time a person is wearing the watch and so on. So that's pretty much it from the Leeds deployment side. I'm sure you will have a lot of questions. We can open that up in the Q&A session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rohit, for your time and your great explanation about the deployment side project.
Thank you.
We go to deployment side from Valencia, and Elena will present us the key points about it. Elena?
Hello, good afternoon. Do you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. Good afternoon from Valencia. If you put the first slide, please. Okay, in Valencia, we have with this pilot we are addressing a need of the city, which is the growing percentage of elderly people living alone, most of who want to stay in their own environments, living by their own as long as possible and maintaining their autonomy. In Valencia, we are 5 partners. This is local authority as deployment site leader, MySphere as technological provider, and we work also with 3 care service providers of the different services targeted to elderly, such as teleassistance or municipal home care service. Our goal is to create a balance between the needs of the informal caregivers and the level of autonomy of elderly people by providing information about the elderly daily activity both inside and outside home. We have to deploy 2 use cases. One is daily monitoring at home, and the other one is monitoring assisted person outside home. Okay, and how are we going to do this? Or through an IoT solution that provides continuous monitoring 24 hours a day of the elderly people well-being inside and outside home. Inside home, there is a kit with 4 motion sensors and 1 pressure sensor that collect information on elderly daily activity that is sent to an app at informal caregivers' smartphones, who can consult this information, set alerts and receive notifications. This allows to identify risky situations in advance, as well as changes in patterns, routines and habits, providing end users valuable information to design interventions and take decisions that improve their own quality of life, give peace of mind to informal caregivers and make elderly feel safer at home. And we have to reach a target of 5 to deploy the use case of daily activity monitoring at home with 525 homes, and we have to get 225 users for the outdoors use case. And now my colleague Pilar will explain you the architecture and all the technological aspects you need to know.
Okay. Hello, good morning. As you can see, the architecture is we are using some sensors that are deployed in the home to monitor presence in different rooms, also temperature and humidity to collect information about the environment of the elderly, also a magnetic sensor to detect openings in the elderly, and we use as a gateway an Android tablet that is located also in the home of the elderly. We are using as an IoT platform FireWare, and all this information is collected and processed in the backend and provide the processed information to both the relatives and the service providers through a web application and a mobile application. The second use case that we are deploying is the outdoor monitoring, for which we are going to use the smartphones for the elderly to collect the information about the position outside the home and do some geofencing capabilities to provide safety areas for the elderly to be monitored by their the information we are collecting is basically the position and the time the elderly user is spent in each room that is monitored, also the temperature and humidity, the position outside, activity outside, and we will integrate also information services from the Smart City platform of Valencia, so we can provide to the elderly people information regarding the transport network, but also about social service activities and leisure activities that also level of environmental information that is collected in the Smart City platform. Yeah, this is basically what with the information we collect from the daily behavior patterns, and we can detect and provide alerts for anomalies and different alerts that can be configurable by the different users. I think that's all for the moment.
Thank you very much, Pilar and Elena, for the explanation of the deployment site, and to all the deployment site leaders about each of these. I would like just to give the floor to all the people who are connected us, and should you have any question about the deployment site or about the open call, now it's your turn, and the idea is that you could include in the panel, in the chat, your questions, and we will read and answer between all the deployment site and us. Just an important issue is that here we presented 5 deployment sites, and the idea is that tomorrow we will have the opportunity to have a second webinar with the other 4 deployment sites. Okay, we receive a first question who are interested in the use case in the challenge 5, or use case exercise promotion, balance and physical activity. What are group should the project address? The question is related to Finland, Madrid, and deployment site. So basically, the question would be, what is the user's profile from each deployment site that currently is recruited in each deployment site.
Hello?
Hi, Isabel? Yes?
No, this is Angeles.
Oh, hi, Angeles.
For us in Madrid, the age is 65 onwards. And the only for exercise promotion is that, well, they don't have any cognitive problem because they wouldn't be able to use the applications, and that they have at least they do not have a wheelchair. But if they need other support to walk or other things, they are accepted for this use case.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello, this is Paula from Finland answering. The age is the same. We are targeting elderly over 65 years old, but our exercise promotion offering can also be suitable for people who are sitting down, and or they can stand up while leaning to a chair or something, and also our exercise offering goes into even into like small motorics, like for hand movements and so on. So we have a wide range of options there.
Thank you, Paula. And Isabel?
Hello. Yes, it's open. For France, as I try to explain, we have 3 populations. Only 2 of them, the active seniors, so people with globally no specific frailty, who has actually only a pedometer, so only following the steps, number of steps, and they have a coaching with people. And the other population where we are interested in physical activity is in the hospital during the rehabilitation. Here we already also have a step counter just to follow the progression of the people in terms of number of steps per day, but the physiotherapists are interested by other applications like balance measurement and or exercise. So here it's people after having a problem going to the rehabilitation hospital. So it is not an age, it's more that people are in a frail situation during a rehabilitation.
Okay, thank you very much, Isabel. Thank you very much. Should you have any question? This is the opportunity to share with all of us and include in your question in the chat. Okay, we received also one question for UK and France. They focus most on energy monitoring. Are they also interested in the control of the energy consumption, for example, by controlling heating and cooling?
Hi, so Isabel for France. This might be some interest, of course. For the moment, it's mostly to help people to make energy saving, water saving, and things like this. The very difficult thing to control heating and cooling, but if you have a solution, it's interesting, is the variety, the diversity of the solution in each homes. So we have people who are only eaten by wood, by gas, by electricity. So the diversity makes it very complex. But if you have a nice solution, I'm sure it could be interesting.
Use energy consumption or monitor energy consumption as such. What we have in place is the energy is monitored on a continuous basis, and we want to infer some use cases from these energy signatures, if you like. But at the same time, controlling heating and cooling is a very nice angle because in UK during winter times there is a lot of death due to inappropriate temperatures at home, and some of them are just accidental. It's not because of energy poverty or things like that. It's some of them are just accidental. So yes, some of the controlling aspects would be very interesting. Reduction of energy consumption or controlling of energy consumption, not so much at this stage.
Okay, thank you very much, Rohit. We receive other questions that say that they are interested to see the possibilities to integrate pressure sensors to monitor the movement of the people, to know their activity, their position when they are sitting or lying on the bed, and some applications that could be analyzed using flexible pressure sensor textile. Could be interesting for the project?
Hi, this is Rohit again. Can I take this first?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So it's very interesting to have pressure sensors to monitor movements across the house. I think it is definitely interesting for the project, but one thing we do need to keep in mind is how are we going to sustain this or enable this solution for populations, large number of people. So we have to consider the cost implications of solutions like this, as well as the practicality of solutions like this. So I'm pretty sure when we talk about the pressure sensors on the floor or things like that, we also have to consider accidents and spills, flooding situations, and other bits, safety concerns basically. Yeah. So these are the two main aspects that I would bear in mind before proposing anything. One is the scalability of it, whether it's going to sustain itself in terms of costs and practicality after the project, and health and safety.
May I just, Isabelle from France?
Yes.
A little bit. So exactly same kind of remark. It's very important that the technology maturity of the technology is high enough. For us, as I explained just a bit, two solutions could be envisaged. If your solution could help, or maybe if you have already tested a global solution service with your sensor to follow the number of person or where is the person in the room. Second thing is definitely we don't have anything that can be easily integrated in existing sofa or chair. Typically in hospital, we have bed sensor, we don't have chair sensor. And it's something we are asked by the hospital. So if your device is easy to integrate in the existing chair, because we cannot change the chair from the hospital, this is something we are looking for.
Okay, thank you very much, Isabel. We received also one question. Can you elaborate a bit which type of behavior monitoring is in place for smart home installations? Well, this is more related for the deployment side from Valencia or France, but basically, I don't know if you would like to give some information related to this, but basically the idea is to have the opportunity to analyze the different places where the older people is, and how to build or to analyze their behavior, their movements, and identify a situation of risk.
Alicia, if you allow me. For example, in Valencia, the way we monitor behavior is, as Alicia was mentioning, keeping track of the location where the person has been and the time it has been there. Also the time when he goes out of home or come back home, and also, well, processing all this information with some other contextual and information we can extract a pattern of daily behavior, let's say daily routines, in which when we analyze the historic data, we can detect when this pattern has changed, or we create the alerts in base of rules that the service providers and the relatives configure, such spending more time than a certain amount in the different rooms, or going out at different at times that are not usual time. This kind of real-time rules, plus the historic analysis of the daily routines to create these patterns of behavior.
Thank you, Pilar, for the explanation. And previous to go to other questions related to other deployment sites, I will receive two others about deployment site from Valencia. One that talks about, when you talk about reminders and alerts, you mean that will be issued in the home table or in the social worker mobile?
Okay, for that, when we talk about alerts, the alerts that are generated by the, let's say, the rules on the behavior of the person are issued on the mobile phone of the relative and on the social worker web portal on the panel. When we talk about reminders and information about social activities, this will be presented in the tablet in the home for the elderly, but also in an app for the elderly when they go out. So there are several different applications and interfaces for the different stakeholders.
Thank you, Pilar. Then we move to Finland. There is one question talking about if you can explain or clarify the IoT platform used in Finland and in which challenges are you interested? Well, this information, I don't know, Paula, if you would like to share more details about the IoT platform, but what I can share with you is that in the guide for applicants there is a specific annex where you can see more in detail each challenges and each deployment site info, and there you can see in which challenges they are interested.
Yes, and yes, we are indeed interested in the monitoring and self-management of chronic diseases, cognitive stimulation, physical activity coaching and motivation, solution to mitigate the barriers of accessibility and also open challenge. But about the IoT platform, I wonder if Janne is there able to elaborate on that.
Yes, sir. Hi, this is Janne. And I think the biggest role for integrating to the IoTs for Finland's consortium is made by Senior Soom. They have made their own integrations for the IoT platform from top to down. And for the rest of us are thinking either we follow with Senior Soom that we include our integration into the same system, or then for the extra games and exercise promotions, we could do it in a way that it's a RESTful API communication between the IoT data lake systems and databases. So it's not really locked down at this moment.
Okay, thank you very much. We have another question for also for deployment site from Finland, which are related to the Challenge 5. Does the pilot need to consider the entire population of the deployment site? Also the coaching part, considering, for instance, Finland deployment site, are we able to integrate functionalities in the existing app to communicate with the involved persons? Just let me answer to the first one. The idea, apart from this challenge and the rest of the challenges, is that your solution doesn't cover all the users. The idea is that you must include in your proposal the number of users that, according to the available budget, that you can cover with your solution. So, in general, we don't expect that your solution cover entire population of each deployment site. The idea is that you could cover a group of people, a group of users from the deployment site. Okay?
It's also with the budget. Sorry, Isabel speaking.
Yeah.
We intend to make a proof of concept on a limited population. We all know that the budget is not so high for you, but also on the project part. So it's a demonstration of the functionality and the interoperability of your solution. Then, if we want to go larger, we will have to see together how to combine. Do you confirm, Alicia?
Yes, completely agree. Thank you, Isabel. And the question for Paula is if considering, for instance, the deployment site, are we able to integrate functionalities in the existing app to communicate with the involved persons? I don't know if we can answer or.
I think I can take this. This is Janne. For exercise gaming and rehabilitation's point of view, we are quite well covered for standard rehabilitations. But if the coaching, which the question refers, is something different that we doesn't already have, then it's actually adding value for the whole consortium. And so for the question is that, yes, I think it's available to integrate into existing solution if it adds a value, something that it doesn't already have in the current ecosystem. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaren. We have another question that says that we manufacture electronic devices, and my question is if it's possible to apply just to provide devices to be integrated in some of the use cases presented, or the solution has to be end-to-end complete. Maybe I don't understand currently the question. Basically, the idea is that your solutions, your technology, can be included in at least one deployment site according to the challenges. So you have to respond to one of the challenges, and to be integrated according to the requirements which are described in the technical information guide. That it's the document that we created in order to explicitly clarify the technical issues. So the idea is that your solution must respond one challenge, okay? And this challenge could cover one or two different use cases or one or two different deployment sites.
It can be also an open challenge. If you bring a new sensor that is not actually on the market and you think it can complete, you have the last challenge, which is an open challenge. So if you have a sensor which is don't come with a new movement sensor, or maybe if you do it with another way and only one sensor can replace 10 of us, then you can just bring the sensor. You understand?
Yes. Isabel, thank you. Okay, we have also 2 questions for the Challenge 5 for Madrid and Valencia. The first one is, do our applications have to be already integrated into one of the 7 platforms before submitting? Well, if you see, if you have the opportunity to the technical information document, you can see in detail the different kinds of integration. The idea is that your solution could be integrated in at least one platform, one of the 7 platforms, because in this case the development, the deploy, and also the testing will be very fast because we have built the bridges and the interoperability. Should you have any other IoT platform, different platform, there won't be any problem to develop the bridge, but it will require much time to deploy your solution, to integrate with the current IoT solution, and it could be a handicap. Okay, I don't know if Pilar would like to add any additional comment to this technical part.
I think that's basically what you say. So the solution or the integration in the deployment sites will be done through IoTs. So that should be clear. So it doesn't really matter which IoT platform is deployed already in the deployment site. So that's what we want to demonstrate is interoperability. So it doesn't need to be the same that you are using. But as Alicia said, it would be faster if you are doing something on top of one of the platforms that are already integrated. If not, it needs to be developed the bridge for that. Also, you can let's say provide an application and solution on top of IoTs using the data from the infrastructures that are let's say developed already in the deployment site. So you don't need to have end-to-end solution. I don't know if I'm maybe confusing more, but
yeah. And following this question, we have another one: is the integration with one of the 7 platforms funded by the project, or the project's funds only the integration with IoTs? The idea is that you should include in your budget all the workload that you will have to do in order to be sure that your solution will be deployed and ready for testing during these 12 months. This includes also the deploy and the integration activities. Okay, this could be integration between different platforms, or this could be integration directly to IoTs. Okay. Next question. As understood from France, they are expecting for multi-occupancy solutions. What about Madrid and Valencia? Do they expect so as well, being involved in Challenge 8?
Alicia, sorry, I don't know what is multi-occupancy solutions. What is referring to?
Well, the idea is that in one room, currently we have different sensors that identify that there is one person in the room. But
okay, for more than one.
Yes, the
okay.
open call would like to looking for solutions able to identify that in the room we have 2 or more individuals and distinguish which are the different individuals.
Okay.
Okay. For Valencia, yes, definitely we are interested in multi-occupancy solutions, but the constraint would be that one of the things we have tried to avoid in Valencia is to place any kind of device or wristband on the elderly when he's at home. So it should be, let's say, the less intrusive as possible. But we are interested definitely.
Okay. Thank you. And Ángeles, Gloria, I don't remember exactly if...
No, now, because now in Madrid we are not covering the use case monitoring at home.
Thank you, Gloria. The next one, that is, I would like to apply to the Open Code Challenge number 11, novel user interaction to mitigate the barriers for accessibility, but hands-on constraints that restrict our deployment to France for now. Can we still apply to this challenge as the deployment site itself info card in the applicant guide does not mention this challenge? If in this case, for sure you can apply of course, and you have to include that you would like also only to apply to this deployment site. This is a barrier, this is a handicap, and it's something that we have to analyze at the end when we have the winning list. In the challenge, yes.
Challenge 11 is for all DS. Challenge 11 is for all DS.
Yes.
So that's why we didn't put it back in the either card, but all DS are interested in the challenge 11.
Yes, the idea is in the guide for applicant at the end, in the annex, you can see the description of each challenge. And I think that for the last three challenges, 10, 11, and 12, here you can see that all the deployment sites are interested on it. Okay, this is the reason why you don't see France or Leeds or any other specific deployment site. Okay. Next question, regarding the maximum budget, if Activate just co-finance 70% of the budget, I assume that if one company presents 85,000 euros, it just gets 60,000 from Activate. Yes, I confirm you. And projects with budgets over 85,000 could be accepted, but they will not receive more than 60,000 euros. Yes, this is the idea. You have to take into account that we co-finance at maximum of 60 and a maximum of 60% of the budget. This is the reason why you can include also the complete budget. Maybe you could need 100,000 euros, but the maximum budget assigned will be 60,000 euros. Question. Our company is a non-profit cooperative as considered as SME for the Italian legislation that has always been funded, 100% funded by the European project. Is the funding rate 70% also for our case? Well, in this case, let me check, if you don't mind, send us an email in the open call at Activate Project Point EU, and let me check, and we will send you an email in order to confirm if we will receive 100% or 70%, because this is an exception that we didn't think about it. Okay, I think that that's all. If you don't have any other question, yes, here you have the email to send your questions. Should you have any questions or doubts about the open call process or the deployment site in the next days prior to the deadline, please send your question to this email. And just a final reminder that tomorrow we will have the opportunity to know more about other deployment sites like in Galicia, Greece, Emilia-Romagna, Madrid, and Wockwaz. So tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. we expect to join us. Just one final question we received in the last minute.
Sorry, before the question, sorry, Madrid, we are already here. Tomorrow, we won't.
Yes. Yes, sorry, it's a mistake. Yeah. Just a final question related to the challenge 5. Do you think your users can stand by themselves on a balance board without risking to injury themselves?
Yes, in most cases. At least some of them, in most cases, they can. It's so dependent among all the projects, but all the sites, but most of them are able to.
Yes, I would say the same, that most of the users would be able to do that, but not all, of course.
Well, I think that yes, most of them they can, but of course they cannot use it by themselves. They have always to be with someone to assist them.
Thank you. And last question. That some use cases adopt offline questionnaire. Can they be interested in having them managed within a specific software?
I can answer from our from Finnish deployment side. We offered the option to the elderly to fill them in a software, but they prefer pen and paper. That is just their preference, and that's why we do the questionnaires offline like that.
Thank you, Paula. I don't know any other.
In Madrid DS, we use already one which is called RedCap.
Okay, thank you, Ángeles. And in Valencia or Leeds?
Well, in Valencia, it depends, because if this is referring to the evaluation questionnaires, in Valencia we use a tool already, a software tool that is called Rotator for collecting, developing questionnaires and collecting questionnaires. If that has to do with providing some questionnaires in the applications, so far we are not giving any questionnaire or any this kind of tool to the end users in the applications. This is we use only questionnaires for the evaluation of the solutions.
Okay. If any other deployments I would like to add, Isabel or Rohit in this case.
I'm not sure it's a critical point for us. We don't have for the moment. It might be some interest. I guess I didn't think of it before, so I don't know.
Okay.
I should ask the people of the evaluation. I know that we could be interested by a software application for the audit of the homes. For the evaluation, I should ask. I cannot answer there. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. So thank you very much for your time, for your interest in the open call, and hope to be fruitful for you. And if you have any questions, we are available in our email. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.